And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Thank you for joining us today on the Alaska Weather Show. I'm meteorologist Emily Niebuhr. It's October 13th, Friday the 13th, that is, 2023. You can reach us at 1-855-937-4977. You can find us online at weather.gov/Alaska, or you can email our media head, peter.chan@noaa.gov. So let's take a look at our hazards across the state. We're actually having a pretty calm day today after some of the very active weather patterns that we've had this week. We don't currently have any advisories, watches, or warnings in effect across the state. So again, we have multiple systems moving through, but none of them significant at this point. One system that is significant is Typhoon Bolivan. It's expected to move across the state of Alaska, south of the state, mainly through the week. So Sunday, it's going to be south of the central and eastern Aleutian Islands, slowly going to migrate into the Gulf of Alaska. Here are some important points that we have hot off the press from our Anchorage forecasters. It is expected to be a typical fall system. So right now we're not expecting anything unusual, just our typical strong systems that impact Alaska. We have high confidence in the storm track, and we're expecting the low to weaken as it moves in towards the Gulf of Alaska. We're still a little uncertain about the exact strength and the timing, but again, it is not expected to be too unusual in terms of intensity. So if you're going to be in any of these areas that are going to be impacted, you can get the latest information at weather.gov/AFC. So we're going to be monitoring this, but again, we're expecting it just to be a typical strong Alaskan storm. Let's look at our latest weather patterns today. So you can see we have several active patterns across the state, most of them fairly weak, however. So again, we have a system impacting the Panhandle, front and associated low, and we have a few weak systems across the Aleutian Islands, and then we have one low pressure system impacting the Arctic coast. Here's what they look like on our official weather map, 993 millibars with that frontal system, again bringing widespread precipitation near the Panhandle. We also have two weakening lows across the eastern Aleutian Islands and the Alaska Peninsula. Finally, we have high pressure, the northwest Bering, and we have a stubborn low just off the North Arctic coast. For tonight, not much of a big change in our pattern. We do have that low in the Arctic still being pretty stubborn and bringing widespread light snowfall, stratus, and fog to the North Arctic coast. We also have that high pressure system is slowly drifting southward into the Bering Sea. Meanwhile, we have just one of the low pressure systems. The other one, it dissipates into a trough, slowly drifts towards the east, and its associated trough is going to be bringing widespread showers across much of the Bering coast. But again, nothing too intense right now. Finally, that low pressure system near the Panhandle was going to be causing some light rain showers and some light winds across the area, but again, weaker than the systems that have been impacting it earlier this week. For Saturday, the high pressure system moved towards mostly into the interior parts of the Bering. We do have that start to see the typhoon remnants move slowly south of the state, but again, staying fairly south of Shemya. It's at 961 millibars. Then we do have that low pressure system continues to drift to the southeast, and we have a weak low pressure system in the interior of Alaska causing light snow showers across much of south central, and also some related snow associated with that Arctic low. And finally, that low is going to be dissipating across the Panhandle. So widespread showers for your Saturday, but again, nothing too intense impacting Alaska. We can see Bolivan again moving south of the central Aleutian Islands, 954 millibars. But again, some gusty winds across the Aleutians. But the bulk of the intensity of the storm is going to stay south of the Aleutian Islands as it moves eastward. We do have high pressure system pushing in behind the low pressure system. Finally, we have the remnant low slowly pushing to the southeast. And again, that stubborn low that's been hanging out in the Arctic is still going to be there on Sunday, causing light snow showers, stratus, and fog. Let's look at your low temperatures for Saturday morning. We're expecting temperatures to be in the 50s for your early Saturday morning across the Panhandle, some 40s as you go into more interior portions of the Panhandle. Meanwhile, up at Anchorage, 33, getting close to freezing for your Saturday morning. Across much of the interior, we're looking at 30 at Gold Canna. So again, some cool temperatures, 36 Kodiak. As we go for your Saturday afternoon, temperatures are expected to be about mid to upper 40s across Kodiak Island, mid 40s in the Kenai Peninsula and Anchorage, 41 Gold Canna. We're seeing close to 60 in southern parts of the Panhandle for your Saturday. Sunday morning, we're looking at lows near to 50 in the upper 40s across much of the Panhandle. We do have the Kenai Peninsula and Anchorage a little warmer than it was Saturday morning, more in the mid to upper 30s, and 42 Kodiak Island. For Sunday, your temperatures, again, we're looking at close to 60s in your Panhandle, looking at 42 Gold Canna, and mid 40s across Anchorage and the Kenai, and almost 50 in Kodiak Island. For your Arctic areas, for your Saturday morning, we are looking at some lows in the teens. And as you go further west, we're looking at temperatures in the lower to mid 20s across the Arctic coast. Looks like we're looking at 26 for the Fairbanks area, but generally low teen or upper teens to mid 20s. Saturday afternoon, we're warming up to 41 in Fairbanks. Along the North Arctic coast, we're hovering near freezing. But again, looking at temperatures towards Seward Peninsula, lower 30s. Sunday morning temperatures will be below freezing on the Seward Peninsula, but close to 30. We're looking 28 Fairbanks area along the North Arctic coast, mid to upper 20s. Sunday afternoon, we're looking 39 in Fairbanks, low to mid 30s in the Seward Peninsula, but generally in the lower 30s across much of the Arctic. Saturday morning, we're looking at temperatures in the 40s across the Aleutian Islands and Alaska Peninsula, 23 near Bethel, so some cooler temperatures as you get into the interior. Saturday afternoon will warm up towards 36 near Bethel and mid 40s to upper 40s along along the Aleutian Islands and Alaska Peninsula. Sunday morning, we're looking at temperatures again mid 20s in the interior portions along Bristol Bay, upper 30s. Sunday afternoon, temperatures will be again in the mid 40s across the Aleutian Islands and Alaska Peninsula. For your 6 to 10 day outlook, we're looking at temperatures are going to be below normal across much of interior Alaska, but above average near the Panhandle. In your 6 to 10 day outlook, slightly above average chance for precipitation with below average temperature or precipitation along the Alaska Peninsula.